Hello and welcome back to another episode of a Cozy Christmas Podcast. Today, it's a wonderful life. It is Christmas Podcast Day, so many of your favorite Christmas podcasts will be talking about different versions of It's a Wonderful Life. And I didn't think I would have one that I found interesting, but then as I was digging around into the deep dark inner recesses of my brain, I remembered seeing one on TV years and years ago, back in the 1990s. It was called Merry Christmas, George Bailey, and it was a 1997 televised broadcast, and it starred Bill Pullman as George Bailey, who I think does an excellent job. I really wish they would have done a remake with him as George Bailey. I think that would have worked brilliantly because he is so good in this. It was filmed live as a recreation of the Lux Radio Theater's 1947 production of It's a Wonderful Life. Sally Field plays the narrator, as well as George's mother. Martin Landau stars as Mr. Potter. Nathan Lane plays Clarence, who is perfect in that role as well. Some other names of note: Christian Slater plays Harry along with Sam Wainwright. Jerry Van Dyke plays Uncle Billy, who is again perfect in that role as well. You might remember him from Coach. He was my favorite character in Coach. Bronson Pinchot plays in it. Just a really incredible cast. I have seen bits and pieces of It's a Wonderful Life, I believe, but this was like the first time I experienced the story as a whole. And of course, it's only an hour long, so there are things they cut out and all that because it's not necessarily based on the movie, but it's based on the radio play from 1947. So in this article I found online from 1997 from the Los Angeles Times. Let me just read this to you because this could have been written today. Listen, the article is by Don Heckman. Radio on television? What a concept. But that's exactly what turns up tonight in PBS's Merry Christmas, George Bailey, a taping of a radio broadcast style rendering of the classic holiday film It's a Wonderful Life. Even in an industry prone to remakes, that's a mouthful. And one which somehow manages to chew every bit of sustenance out of the much-loved picture, from film to radio to live performance to tape to television. But there's no denying the worthiness of the program's fundamental goal, which was to benefit the Elizabeth Glaser Pediatric AIDS Foundation. Taped at a live presentation at the Pasadena Playhouse earlier this month, the production features a sterling cast from Hollywood and Broadway that includes Bill Pullman in the central role of George Bailey, Nathan Lane as the guardian angel, Martin Landau as the conniving Mr. Potter, Penelope Ann Miller as Mary Hatch, Bailey's wife, and Sally Field as his mother. Hewing closely to the concept of radio, the performers work with vintage-style microphones, reading from scripts adapted from a 1947 Lux radio broadcast promoting the 1946 picture. The live music, played by an 11-piece pit orchestra, draws from Dmitri Tiomkin's themes from the original film, and onstage sound effects are provided by veteran sound effect engineer Ray Erlenborn. Viewed as television, the show initially has an unappealingly archaic quality. It's fascinating to watch the differences between the actors as they deal with the relatively unfamiliar technique, for most of them, of acting with their voices. Predictably, the most effective are those with the most idiosyncratic vocal styles. Lane's quirky, inimitable sound, Jerry Van Dyke playing Uncle Billy is his familiar, wacky, foul-up, screw-up style, and Carol Kane as Mary's mother, creating yet another ear-grating but hilarious scold. And despite the inherently difficult dramatic method of having actors move to a microphone, deliver their lines, then return to their seats, there are times when interaction takes place between the characters and the story comes alive visually as well as orally. The essentially expositional dialogue, for example, between Lane and Joe Mantegna as Joseph comes alive via both actors' ability to add little vocal inflections and gestures to their exchanges. Pullman's romance with Miller has its charming moments, and Landau brings intensity to every line he utters. Anyway, the article goes on to be a bit critical of Pullman's performance of George Bailey, and thought that maybe he had too much of what he calls a focused seriousness, and that it wasn't as good as the original done by Jimmy Stewart, to which I think we can all shout a collective duh. But I think Bill Pullman has that everyman quality that Jimmy Stewart does, but it's going to be different. I really liked his performance. So that's a little bit of a background for that version. I did find it on YouTube. It's not the greatest quality visually. I mean, this was back in 1997. You can find at least a couple of copies there. And I would say just pop it on, close your eyes, and pretend you're listening to the radio. See how it works as purely radio. That might be a fun experiment. Anyway, that's my version of It's a Wonderful Life. Anyway, I think it's worth checking out. All right, but the other thing today I want to do is have an interview today. I'll be talking to Troy from the Christmas Everyday podcast. That's a new podcast this year in the Christmas podcast world. And it's one that I've immediately started listening to and have enjoyed greatly. He does a lot of fun things on his show. He's wanting to learn about new Christmas music. He has a naughty list that he talks about, things that deserve to be on the naughty list. And then during Christmas that month in December, he will be changing it to the nice list. I don't think I mentioned in the interview, but Troy, I do have to push back a little bit because you put pumpkin spice on the naughty list. Now, I understand why you did, and I might even slightly agree with why you did it. But I love pumpkin spice creamer in my coffee. I agree it comes out way too early. I mean, for me, I like it when the weather finally gets cold. I'll start drinking it. And so there's like a month or two coming up to Christmas that I like pumpkin spice creamer in my coffee, and then that's about it. Or go to Starbucks or somewhere and get a pumpkin spice latte. I do like also pumpkin spice pancakes. That's pretty good. And maybe a few other things like some muffins or something like that. But yeah, it's overdone. I remember one year I put it was a meme, it was a joke on Facebook, and it was like pumpkin spice motor oil. And I swear somebody thought I was being serious, that was actually a thing. And I think that goes to show that maybe it's a little too much. And that you can post something as ridiculous as that and somebody thinks that it's actually real. Either that or I have stupid friends. I don't know. Let's all that aside, let's go ahead and jump over to the interview I have with Troy from Christmas Everyday podcast. Welcome to the Cozy Christmas podcast. My guest today is Troy, and he is a host of one of my new favorite podcasts. It's called Christmas Everyday. He talks about just Christmas things in general, some of his favorite things. He does reaction videos to music. He gives you a Christmas countdown, all that fun stuff that you want in a Christmas podcast. He has nice variety there. And so, Troy, welcome to the Cozy Christmas podcast.
Art, thanks a lot. I appreciate it. I've been a fan of your podcast, the Cozy Christmas podcast, for a good while now. I've got several favorite episodes that I'm really, really glad that you produced. And so I'm a big fan of yours as well. I appreciate the kind words.
Well, thank you. I swear I didn't have you on just to say nice things. So, but it's always nice to hear. Because, at the end of the day, we do this out of love for Christmas and wanting to bring cheer to the people around us. So
absolutely.
Yeah. Well, you started your podcast this year. What was it? Just a couple months ago? Really, from the time we're recording.
Hmm.
Can you just briefly here to start off, introduce a little bit about yourself and what your podcast is?
Okay, I appreciate it. My name is Troy. I live in the Nashville, Tennessee area, and I love Christmas. And this whole idea basically started out as me wanting to do a YouTube Christmas channel and just do video. I had done a previous YouTube channel before on a totally different subject. I enjoy making videos. I really jumped into it and instantly realized that all year long is not a good time for Christmas content on YouTube. Now there are a couple of guys doing it, like the aficionado, the Christmas aficionado, and the Christmas Summit. They're doing really, really good Christmas stuff. I'm not that creative. So, but when I was doing the whole process setting up the YouTube channel, I figured I might as well release it every episode as a podcast as well, so I can get out on that medium too. And while I was messing around with the podcast part of it, I realized two things. Number one, audio only is way easier than video, and I enjoy audio only better. I like the equipment better. I like the sound processing better. Everything about audio, and it never really appealed to me before, but in the process of just trying to get set up with the podcast for the YouTube channel, I found out that I enjoyed audio way better. And the one thing that I knew for certain about the whole thing was that I wanted it to be about Christmas, and I want to do it all the time. And so this is definitely the way to go. I couldn't do video all year long. It would be a lot.
Yeah, I do a lot of video for my other podcast and YouTube channel, and it can be very time consuming, and you got to make sure your hair is combed. You don't look like you're homeless. Yeah. So your podcast, you like to listen to new music is one of your things you're asking your audience for?
Absolutely. The help that I'm requesting from my listeners is to send me recommendations for new Christmas music that I can do reaction videos to, because my Christmas music knowledge basically ends right around All I Want for Christmas Is You by Mariah Carey. For some reason, around that time period, I kind of stopped listening to new Christmas music. I listened to all other kinds of music, but I just, for whatever reason, the Christmas music, I just kind of stopped listening to it. And so I'm woefully ignorant on newer Christmas music that's come out in the last, 25 or 30 years. And I got on this kick earlier this year where I would watch reaction videos, and it's always, the younger person listening to the stuff from like the 80s and the 90s, and it just blows their mind, and they can't believe how good everything was. And I kind of wanted to do a reverse of that, to where I'm the old guy and I'm listening to the newer stuff, and hopefully it knocks my socks off. But I think that a cool way to learn newer Christmas music would be via the reaction video. I think that would be a really cool way to learn newer Christmas music. So yeah, I ask my listeners, if you have anything that you love within the last 20 or 30 years, send it to me. I'd love to do a reaction video to it.
Right. And have you been able to find some new favorites so far, or
not yet?
Not yet. Okay.
I've been given one recommendation. I did one video earlier last month, or maybe in June, for Finally It's Christmas by Hanson. You gave me a couple of recommendations. I'm definitely going to do one of those. And then just this week, I got one more recommendation. So I'm going to be doing a reaction video on that. Now, my podcast came out in June, really is when we started doing weekly episodes. So the traction just really isn't there to have gotten a whole lot of recommendations. I imagine as time goes on and people are actually looking for Christmas podcasts in the holiday season, then maybe I'll get some more. But yeah, I don't have enough traction really yet to have gotten a ton of recommendations.
Mm-hmm. Right. When I started mine, I believe it was in July of 2020, and it It was like that. It kind of starts off slow and then it builds and builds as you get into December, and then the numbers just jump to ridiculous numbers. And
Oh, sure.
and you think, I'm a podcasting god, look at this. And then January comes and it's just a huge drop off. Like,
it's gotta be, yeah. You're thinking, oh, this is never going to end. And then like December 26th,
right.
Bottom falls out.
Right. But you will find some people who are willing to stick around all year. I've got some, I know, many of the other Christmas podcasters do too. There are those people out there, as you say in your podcast, they want to do Christmas every day. I do like how you put it though, that, there are some strange people out there that don't decorate until November 1st.
I love that you caught onto that.
Yes. I love that so much.
I love Halloween. I really do. It's always been probably my second favorite holiday behind Christmas. And I used to decorate and throw stuff out there and not decorate for Christmas until, all the Halloween stuff was down. And so I get it. But now I'm just kind of, let's just get to Christmas. Let's just go ahead and get to Christmas. And all you weird folks out there, let's get some decorating going on at your house.
Right. One thing I'd love to do here with you, as you're probably, I don't know if you were very active in the other Christmas podcast social medias at all before this. I know some hosts are, but I'd like to try to get to know you a little bit and what you like about Christmas and some of your favorite Christmas things, and see how that generates our discussion this evening. So really, we're going to start off with the hard one. Would you prefer eggnog or hot chocolate?
Heavy hitting right off the bat.
I know, and if you don't answer right, I'm just going to kick you off, like I said. Man. Okay.
Oh, gosh, the pressure's on. I don't know if I might collapse here in a second. You said eggnog or hot chocolate?
Yes.
I got to go hot chocolate. I really do. I've got to go hot chocolate. I love the eggnog. Hot chocolate. Eggnog just doesn't seem like it would be the same with marshmallows in it as hot chocolate. Yeah. It's got to go with the hot chocolate.
Oh, okay. That's all right. I'll make note of that. But no, I love eggnog. I'll take it any day over anything.
Absolutely.
But answering both is an acceptable answer as well. So
okay.
That's how I would have done it.
I got you. I'll keep it in mind.
How about are you an artificial tree guy or a real tree?
I'm both. So we grew up. I'm an older individual. We grew up and basically there weren't very many good artificial tree options, and they were very expensive. And so, we just did the real tree thing. And in our house, in our living room, we had a 14-foot ceiling. So Dad always went out and got the 14-foot tall tree, and we put it in there and everything was great. Fast forward to when I'm an adult, obviously you love the convenience of an artificial tree. You take it down, you put it up, and then you take it down, and then, you just keep it for years and years and everything's great, and you don't have to deal with the mess and the needles and all that stuff. I'm going to get back to doing a live tree this year. So we have multiple trees. We have one in our living room, one in our den. We do a couple of other smaller trees. I think I'm going to swap out one of our artificials for a real tree this year. That's what the aim is. If I can talk my wife into it, if I can convince her that it's something we should do, definitely. But if you're asking preference, live tree all day long. The smell of it is just phenomenal. And I'll buy any like candle or wax melt or anything that's pine tree scented. So I love that stuff anyway. Give me the real tree any day of the week. Absolutely.
Right. We mostly have we have an artificial one, and I think one year when I was a kid, we might have had a real tree. And I don't know why, other than it was just like, it's just what we used. And I don't know if there's any reason behind it, but, and I think I mentioned in a in a previous or upcoming interview. I'm not sure where this will all come out, but I mentioned that it's not that I'm opposed to them, but if I put on as many lights as I want to on a real tree, I might cause a fire.
Absolutely.
But
absolutely.
Yeah. I do like the symmetrical look of an artificial tree, and then you can just really just douse it with lights. And I like to the tree I have. It has a trunk, and then you attach the branches all around, and it goes up, and then you can fluff it up.
Yep.
And so what I do is when I have just the pole up, I'll wrap lights around that pole, and then start attaching the branches on, and then wrap the lights around the branches as I'm going up. So
that sounds cool.
What I discovered by doing that, even just the string of lights wrapped around the trunk, it gives it this inner glow that just really makes it vibrant. I discovered that a few years ago, and my wife commented that. She's like, it looks really nice, and it actually looks like you have more lights on than you might really have on there. So maybe a little Christmas decorating hack for you.
That sounds awesome. I'm totally going to try that. I will go back and listen to this episode and see if I can figure that out, because lights are a big thing for me.
Yeah,
like a very, very big thing for me, and they always have been. And so yes, if I can make my tree look a little bit better just by doing something like that, I'm all for it.
Yeah. I heard that from somebody else. I saw their Christmas tree, and it was like glowing, like you could see this thing from space probably.
That's so awesome.
And
I want my tree to glow.
Yeah. And she told me how she did it. She was an older lady, and she just had the time to. She had even more lights on than I would put on. We're talking like Clark Griswold level of lights on this little tree, and it looked beautiful.
I love it.
Yeah. So when you decorate the house, do you like to keep things simple? Or are you more on the swing towards the Griswold side, or are you just kind of in the middle?
I generally like to plan like I'm Clark Griswold, but it generally works out being simple. I always have like pretty grand ideas as far as what I want to do with the house, but then I'll get maybe a quarter of the way into it or a halfway into it and realize that it's going to be a lot more work than I thought it was going to be. So I'll scale it back a little bit, but my wife, she has a pretty grand idea on what to do with our porch. She wants to do a very, very festive Christmas. You know how people do a lot of times with fall, they'll put a bunch of leaves up and they'll have the the bales of hay up there with the pumpkins and for fall. And she wants to do something similar to that with Christmas. So I'm like, hey, let's do it. So other than that, I really just put lights up on the house most of the time. I've got some of those Govee permanent lights that you put up, and they kind of shine down instead of going out. I love those. And I haven't really decided what else I'm going to do for Christmas outside this year. But I love to dream big. But then when it comes down to doing it, I also value my time on the weekends. And I don't let that monopolize my entire Saturday or Sunday.
Right, because it will, yeah.
It will, absolutely.
Yeah, my mother-in-law had a extensive Christmas Village collection, and we're talking extensive. It would take her, I know, at least, I want to say the whole weekend to get it set up, like taken out, set up, get the lights under it, get the the snow all right, and there were like 2 or 3 dresser type table things, a bookshelf. It was amazing. But since they've retired and have downsized, she had to do the same. So
yeah, well, no, that's unfortunate. We have I'm a huge Christmas Village guy, and so I love anything like all the Department 56 stuff and anything Christmas Villagey. I'm all about it. And we have the Harry Potter Christmas Village. It's got the big Hogwarts, and it's got a bunch of other different little buildings and stuff. But we don't have the space for it. So we put out what we can, and then, the rest of it we just keep up. But we definitely love that one, and always on the lookout for something else. But I'm a huge Christmas Village guy for sure.
Yeah. Well, when they retired and moved, she offered me whatever buildings I wanted. And you're going to hate me for this, but I actually turned her down, and I'm just like, I really don't have room for it, or,
that's the worst.
And I don't always put up a village every year. And so I knew it was something, if I had it, I would either not use it or feel guilty and cause stress. And so I'm like, I'm going to have to
that's
say
understandable.
No. Yeah,
that's understandable.
It was
that's noble enough.
It was a hard choice, but maybe if she asked me again, I would probably take them now. But I don't know.
Well, I mean, you could hold on to it for a little bit until you figure out a place for it, or plans for it. And I think that would be all right.
Yeah.
If you've got the space to, if your house is like mine, you don't have very much space.
Right.
Space
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's amazing how the older you get, the more stuff you acquire, and the less stuff you ever get rid of. It's kind of insane.
Well, yeah, we just moved this spring, and
oh, nice.
At one point I'm just like, can we throw everything away and just start over? Why is there so much stuff? And I'll still have a stress dream where we still have things to pack, like at our old house, like, oh, we still have to go back and get this. It's still there. I'm like, no.
Oh, that sounds horrible. That sounds horrible.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, it decorating, it really depends on my mood from year to year.
Sure.
There's been a few years where I haven't even done anything outside. But most of the time I'll at least put a string of lights out. At our old house, we had a front porch with a railing, so we would do the garland on the railing, and it was lighted garland. And then sometimes I would go real crazy and put lights around the poles and put some of the lighted things out in the yard. And then some years I wouldn't. It just depends on how busy I was and what mood I was in. And
understandable. And look, everybody loves the Christmas decorations and the lights, but you're not always in the mood to do them. I mean, I'm with you there 100%. You're just not always you're always in the Christmas mood and the Christmas spirit, but you're not always in the decorating / manual labor type mood. So I totally get where you're coming from on that one. I think 2 years ago, we didn't really put anything out, and we had some lights out, but that was really it. It was kind of a pedestrian effort, but that was all we did. And so I can totally relate to where you're coming from on that.
Yeah. I mean, pretty much the only thing I will spend a lot of time on is getting the Christmas tree just right.
Yes.
Yes. Getting it up, getting it fluffed, getting the lights on. If I can do nothing else, that's what I'll put my attention on. So,
sure.
Yeah. So when do you put up your Christmas decorations? Do you have, usually I say before or after Thanksgiving, but how early before Thanksgiving?
It really, that also depends on the mood, because when the leaves start changing and when seasons change, it's less than a week till fall right now, Art. So when the weather starts changing, when the seasons change, I kind of just go into full blown Christmas mode. Even if it's just in my head, that's where I'm at. So, I mean, there have been times where we set up our Christmas tree, the first weekend in October, because that's just when we felt like doing it. Most of the time it's going to be around the third week or so in October, a little bit closer to November. Generally, we'll start putting stuff outside probably first or second weekend of October, but nothing big, just some stuff. But inside, and the tree in particular, it could be any time in October. I don't think we've ever waited till even Thanksgiving. So it's generally been between October 1st and, about the third weekend. So we love to go ahead and get it up.
Yeah. I believe you had I think it was your podcast. You were talking about getting all the Christmas lights up like on Halloween night. So the next night, November 1st, you just flip them on and surprise the neighborhood. And I love that idea.
That's how you do it. I'm telling you.
What just happened? Those Kilmers, they're crazy. Yeah.
I still think I really think that's a great idea. Just, ride over. Just don't even wait. Just get it going.
There you go. Yeah. And I heard on another podcast, or maybe it was yours too. I listen to so many. Sometimes they get mixed, but that putting up your tree before Thanksgiving is fine. You don't even have to decorate it. Just have it up with the lights on, and it doesn't really take away from the Thanksgiving vibe. If you're worried about that, just wait till put the ornaments on till after Thanksgiving. But even having the tree up beforehand, and I thought that's a neat idea. I'll see if I can get my wife on board with that.
Well, no, and it's a true sentiment, because my tree is always up before Thanksgiving.
Sure.
And it's generally decorated before Thanksgiving too, but also we don't have people over for Thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. We're always going over to somebody else's house, and our children don't live with us anymore. They're grown and married off, and so we rarely have people even over to our house at all. But for Thanksgiving, we generally go to my mother-in-law's, and we don't even worry about it. We just want the Christmas tree up.
Yeah.
So we don't care if it's Thanksgiving or not.
Yeah. Yeah. I like to say my wife helps keep me a little balanced, and we wait till the day after Thanksgiving to put the tree, the main tree up, in the living room and all that. And otherwise it'd probably be up year round. I don't know.
That's what I'm pushing forward to have. And I keep a small little silver tree in my office at work, and it's there all the time, lit up every day. And, but I'm pushing for a smaller full-time artificial tree at home this year. And, fingers crossed. And my wife is crazy about Christmas, just like I am. I married the absolute perfect woman for me.
Yes.
So, she loves it too. And I think I'll be able to convince her. It's not a conversation we've had as of yet, but I think she'll be down for it.
Yeah. Well, tell her it would make me happy if she did that. So.
Well, there you go. That's all the reason she needs.
That's right.
Art's going to be happy.
It's like I can sense when somebody puts their Christmas tree up. Like, yeah. In our house, in our new house we're in, we have a room now we call the library. You can see all the books behind me, and it's upstairs with the other the kids' bedrooms, and she I don't want to say made the mistake, but she told me, yeah, you can hang whatever you want up there, decorate however you want. No. I don't care. I'm like, excellent. Let's see.
That may have been a mistake.
Yeah. Where did I pack that little Christmas tree now?
Nice.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm looking forward to, having a little bit more room to probably even put up more than one tree.
Sure.
Well, we usually have our main tree, and then like up here, we could put a couple little trees in the windows and just really have something nice. So yeah, we get to plan how to decorate a new house this year. I'm excited about that.
No, congrats on the new house. That's great.
Yeah. It only took getting a new job and everything, but
well, that's not stressful at all.
No.
I'm glad you got to do that.
Yeah. But yeah, let's talk some Christmas movies. You've been asking your listeners who's your favorite Santa? Which actor has played your favorite Santa? And you got a lot in about Tim Allen, came in pretty strong. I'm kind of behind in listening to podcasts. Otherwise, I would have sent that in sooner. But
no, it's okay.
But
you can still tell me tonight.
Okay, I will. Honestly, Tim Allen's is a favorite, but I've really been thinking about that because I think there's a lot of nostalgia with him. Because I loved Home Improvement. I was a
absolutely
teenager when it was coming out, and I get it when people say, you know, like this character or actor from the 80s was like, that was my TV dad. And in some ways, you know, it really felt like Tim Allen was my TV dad, you know.
Sure.
And then he plays Santa Claus in a movie that was just wonderful and hilarious.
Oh, I know it.
And so I really love that. But, you know, a lot of it is he's playing Tim Allen, you know.
I made mention of that on one of my last podcasts, or it might have been that one, where, you know, he's the same person in every role that he's got. The good thing about that, though, is that he's extremely entertaining and extremely funny. So everybody he plays is extremely entertaining and funny, but it's still the same thing in all of them. And
Right.
I love the Santa Claus. Love it.
Yeah.
And I put Tim Allen up there, you know, top 3 Santas of all time. He didn't quite make the cut as my favorite one, but I can totally see why a lot of people are, you know, like him more than anybody else.
Mm-hmm. And then I don't know, like it's hard to peg one because I like bits and pieces of several. You know, I love Ed Asner in Elf. I like his kind of more grumpy kind of portrayal, but
you just took the words out of my mouth.
Yeah, but yeah, he's got a heart of a kind heart. You know, you can tell.
Yes, absolutely.
And I love the Richard Attenborough in the Miracle on 34th Street remake.
I haven't seen that one basically since it came out.
Okay,
and so my memory on that one is not so great.
Sure.
But I know Richard Attenborough was a phenomenal actor, but I don't remember much about. I need to go back and rewatch that one for sure.
Yeah,
and probably should have done that before I started talking about who's the best Santa. he might have made the list.
Well, I have a Christmas hot take here, and I like the remake.
Oh, yeah.
I like the remake better than the original. So
really,
I might get kicked out of the Christmas podcast network for that one, but.
Oh man, I hope you don't.
I know.
I'm kidding. That's a very hot take though.
It is.
That's an incredibly hot take. Yeah.
And for me, it's
yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I don't connect with old movies as well as the more modern one, and that's I don't know if it's just a taste thing or what. You know, it's sure. I just don't like, you know, old black and white films for the most part. There's a few exceptions, which we'll probably get to tonight, but I don't know. I like the remake a lot better. It could be that was the one I watched first. So
it could be. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this, and this is just because you're talking about older. Do you like older literature? Because you're a book lover. Do you like older literature?
I do, yeah.
Like classics and stuff like that?
Yeah, very much.
Okay, so it's just the movies that you're not as interested in.
Right, yeah.
Okay. No, that makes sense.
And some of it, honestly, it's like the older way of, the old style of acting, it just is weird. I don't know.
No, I'll give you that. I was on another podcast and talking about how bad a lot of the acting was in the 80s, and you know the jokes at the time were, you know, kind of funny, but if you go back and listen to it now, you're like, that's not funny at all. So, you know, I totally get that. You know, things change and people's, you know, styles change and different trends change, and so I can totally see that. I do happen to like a lot of the older black and white movies. I think that's just because I'm an older person, but you know, I don't know. It's just a preference, but I can definitely see a lot of people's hesitance to want to watch something older as opposed to something new for sure.
Right. I mean, they were different. You know, and now I can see like the newer films. You know, they rely so much on like CGI, and if it's not done right, it can really just throw you out of the movie.
Oh, totally. No, and that's the stuff that I don't like to watch.
Yeah.
Is the newer, like I haven't seen a Marvel movie at all. I haven't seen any Marvel movies.
Wow.
Yeah. And for whatever reason, they just, they don't interest me. But the more I think about it, I'm like, oh, everything's just fake. They should just make it a cartoon because it's all just fake.
Yeah.
I will eventually get around to watching them because I do like a lot of the characters in the Marvel universe. But I just haven't seemed to manage to be able to watch one of the movies yet.
Yeah, no, those I've watched, I think pretty much everything. I'm not a comic book person, but I love comic book movies. Sure. And I've always loved comic book movies. And so when they started making, Iron Man and all that, I'm like, I don't know who this guy is, but this looks fun.
I did see Iron Man. I didn't see the second. Did they do a third one?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I did see the second one. I did not see the second one. I'm sorry, but I did see the first one, and I found that very entertaining. Mm-hmm. But the idea of throwing in Iron Man with the other characters, it just didn't appeal to me for some reason. It's kind of strange.
No, that's funny because I'm the exact opposite. When they start crossing over characters, I'm like, yes, all right.
Okay. Well, maybe you're onto something that I'm not, though. Maybe I should give it a chance, and maybe I could appreciate it.
You might, and if not, that's fine too. I'll still let you be on the podcast. So no.
Yes, thank you.
But yeah, it's something I've got a love of those. I've gotten to share with my boys especially, and one of them we still go to. They're both in their 20s now, but one he and I still will go to a movie theater when a new Marvel film comes out or the new Superman came out. We went and saw that, and it's cool. Just become a tradition, and it's been a lot of fun. So
gotta love that. Yeah. Gotta love stuff you can build like that with your kids. That's awesome.
Yeah. Even if the movie's not that great, I'll just be like, well, I won't tell him this because he'll be like, oh, Dad. But at least I got to spend time with my son, and it was fun. So
exactly.
Yeah,
that's what it's all about.
That's right. Well, in typical fashion, I got off topic, so.
No, that's okay.
No, it happens all the time. So, I guess I should ask: Do you have a favorite Santa portrayal?
Yeah. Oh, you mean who would be my favorite?
Who would be your favorite? Yeah.
The one that I chose was, oh my gosh, now I can't remember the guy's name. It was from Santa Claus, the movie from 1980 some odd. And I'm having trouble thinking of the guy's name. I think it's David something or other. I could have told you 3 weeks ago, but, and I think I picked him out just because of his laugh. Like when he would take off in his, the reindeer taking off and he's just ho, ho, ho. But his laugh is just so infectious. It's like so genuine. And plus, I really liked his voice. I think the guy who played him actually did, really well portraying Santa.
Okay.
Now, Santa.
Go ahead, David Huddleston.
Huddleston. Yeah. Yes, thank you so much. The movie itself did not do very well at all. It was not a commercial success at all. I think he was phenomenal. The rest of the movie, pretty mediocre. I thought was just fantastic. Then you've got Tim Allen. Obviously, he's way up there just because not too many people have done it better. And I did like Edmund Gwynn in the original Miracle on 34th Street. I really, really liked him, but because he really just gave it right back to everybody who was against him or whatever. He was a little fighter, and I understand that he was written that way, but he played that character, I thought, very well.
And didn't he win an Oscar for that performance?
I don't know if he did or not. I would hope that he did. I thought he did a bang up job on it. Yeah. But yeah, I mean he's probably my second or third favorite Santa. Absolutely.
Now I gotta check this out here. Yeah, he did. He won Best Actor in a Supporting Role. That's what I thought.
Oh, I think cool. I didn't know that.
The only one to play Santa and get an Oscar for it. So.
How can you go wrong with that?
Yeah, I just might need to revisit that movie. I haven't seen it.
They have colorized it, so you may be able to catch the colorized version.
I would prefer the black and white if that's how it originally came out, because I don't know. Yeah, that might make it worse.
The colorization process is kind of strange. Yeah. I don't just love it. But, yeah, you should check it out, and I'll check out the Richard Attenborough version as well.
Okay, there we are. I am finding that the things I used to hate as a kid or not enjoy, I look at it now as an adult and think, man, I was crazy. This is good, or I really enjoy that. Do you have a favorite Christmas movie?
I really flip-flop back and forth between different movies. I get hung up mostly on A Christmas Story most years. I love narration in movies. I don't know why, but I really love Gene Shepard's voice being the narrator in that movie. And it's just, the whole thing is, the narrator looking back, it's all nostalgic. It's all these childhood memories. And that's kind of where I am as far as my Christmas, journey, whatever you want to call it, whatever stage of Christmas that I'm in right now. That's basically where I am at, is just with nostalgia. And so that movie really hits home with me pretty well. Plus it's funny. It's a funny movie. Obviously Christmas Vacation makes an appearance pretty much all the time. I never was big on Home Alone. Okay, so that came out in 1990.
Yep.
And I had just graduated from high school, so it didn't really, that one really didn't resonate with me at the time, because I didn't want to, I thought it was just a kid's movie. So over the last 4 or 5 years, and I'd seen it probably 10 or 15 years or so ago, but over the last 4 or 5 years, that one has really started to make its way into the rotation too. And just the soundtrack. Oh my gosh. Is there a better soundtrack than the Home Alone? I don't know if there is. I really don't.
It's gorgeous. Yeah.
It's gorgeous. Yeah. So, that's a favorite of mine. But there's always some kind of rotation. And I'll tell you this, excuse me. I doubt that you heard the one episode where I talked about the Hallmark movies, but this year when July hit and, Hallmark started doing all of their Christmas movies, they played a bunch of Christmas movies for Christmas in July. I watched so many Hallmark movies, and I'd hardly ever seen 2 or 3 before this year. But for some reason, I got hooked on Hallmark Christmas movies in July, and it was just insane. I watched so many of them. And then on top of that, I would go back and listen to the Deck the Hallmark podcast, and then find the episode on the one that I just watched, and then listen to that. It was absolutely ridiculous. But I had just like the best July ever, because I just watched Hallmark movies the whole time. And so I've got a newfound appreciation for Hallmark movies that I totally never saw coming. So that was kind of awesome.
I haven't really gotten on the Hallmark bandwagon too much.
Yeah, I didn't either. It's something just clicked this year. I don't know what it was.
I've watched a couple, and more than a couple, I guess. But it really depends on who the actor or actresses are, I think. Sure. There's been a couple that Lacey Chabert did. Amy Acker did one that I really enjoyed. I don't even know if these are Hallmark films, to be honest. Or they're Hallmark type anyway.
Hallmark-esque.
Yeah. But yeah, and it's not that I don't like them. I just, I don't really watch them.
Well, the Hallmark movies, they're very predictable. And they always basically end up the same, and a lot of them run along the same storylines.
Yeah. But
I don't know, something about it this year just, I don't know what happened. I just couldn't stop watching Hallmark movies. It was insane.
They finally got you.
I don't know how they did it.
Yeah.
Somebody snuck something into my drink or something. I don't know what it was.
That's what happens when you drink hot cocoa instead of eggnog. Yeah.
See, lesson learned. I'll never be that victim again.
There you go.
Also, on my movie rotation is the 1951 version of A Christmas Carol, which is, hands down the best version of that particular story.
Yeah, for fear of sounding like a hypocrite, that is my favorite version of A Christmas Carol.
Okay. Very cool.
I love his portrayal of Scrooge. I love the way he's written. There's a few lines they changed from the book that I think really work. the one that always sticks out to me is near the end when he's like crying. He says, "I can't change. I'm too old," you know, and almost like he's struggling with this. Am I still too late? Maybe I'm not too late. You know, maybe I can still change, but maybe I can't. Maybe I'm just too old. And I don't know. Something about that line just really hits me. I guess especially as I get older now.
Oh, sure. Am I running out of time? Absolutely.
Yeah, and I know how much I hate to change, but yeah, and there's a few parts that the acting is just really corny, and I like to make fun of it. You know, I tend to make fun of things I enjoy anyway. So,
sure.
You know, like my boys and I, we like to watch the Lord of the Rings films and things like that. And
good for you.
And there's a few parts, especially in the Hobbit movies they made, that are just ridiculous, but we love it. You know, it's like, that's so stupid. That's amazing. I love it. You know? Yeah. Actually, just another rabbit trail here, but because the Lord of the Rings came out in December of the years that they were released, they really feel like Christmas movies to me.
Okay, I can see it. I can see that.
Because we'd go and see them when they came out. My wife and I would. And, you know, it'd be like December 18th or whatever, and Christmas was on my mind. So
nice.
I got to find some way to prove that those movies are Christmas movies. So.
The association for December may not be quite enough, but I think you're onto something, Art. I think you can do it.
Okay. Yeah. I'll have to work on that. Now I think you mentioned that Alistair Sim has really the best version of Scrooge.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. There's been seems like every year there's a new version of some kind. But and there's some I enjoy, but yeah.
Okay, that brings me to a question I've got for you. What did you think about this one's a hot one. What did you think about the Disney version?
Oh, the animated one that with Jim Carrey?
Yes.
Yeah, I liked Jim Carrey in it. Like I thought he did a great Scrooge. I am a bit prejudiced because I love Jim Carrey.
Okay, no, that's great.
I love his Grinch movie as well. That's also probably a hot take, but there were parts of it that didn't work for me.
Right.
Now I've only seen that once, so it might be worth a rewatch. But I don't like how they did really the like the Ghost of Christmas Present and then the Ghost of Christmas Yet to Come. Like they stayed in the house for Christmas Present, and
yes,
which was like, no, he went around town. I know you.
Yeah, he went all over the place.
I know you adapt things for the screen, but I think they were really wanting it to be a 3D roller coaster kind of experience, which I thought harmed the storytelling. And then you had some of the same problems with the Ghost of Christmas Yet to Come, where he's just running through town. He gets shrunk to miniature, I think, and you just
I didn't get that.
Yeah,
one.
That was one I was just confused about. But but I did like his portrayal, and there were a few things in the beginning I think that they did that I enjoyed. So I have mixed feelings on that one.
Sure.
Yeah.
I thought for the most part it stayed historically accurate to the story for the most part. That whole shrinking thing, and he's running and he fell like 8 stories and like didn't die or anything. I'm like, what's going on here? But I thought that was kind of cool. The one thing about that movie that I think I took the most from it is when and you may not remember it, but with the Ghost of Christmas Yet to Come, when he finds out that, he's going to die and, whatever. I think that particular part of the movie may have captured what Dickens was trying to convey. Maybe. And I don't remember who did Jacob Marley in that movie. I think it might have been Gary Oldman as well, because Gary Oldman did Bob Cratchit.
Yeah.
I think it might also have been Gary Oldman. But I also think that the Jacob Marley in the 1951 version with Alistair Sim is also the best Jacob Marley that there is. So you got the best Screws, best Jacob Marley. You can't go wrong with it.
Yeah. As much as I love this story, I do feel like maybe we can go a year or two without another remake. I think we've got enough.
Absolutely.
That being said, have you seen Spirited? That film came out like a couple years ago.
No, I didn't, and it's because we don't have whatever HBO.
Yeah, it was like on Apple TV, I think. Yeah,
it was on something like that. Yeah, I didn't see it. That's on my list of things to somehow see this year. Yes, yeah, absolutely. It is intriguing.
What I did, I got a free trial and then canceled it before the trial was up.
Why am I not smart enough to think about that? Oh, I'm totally doing that this weekend.
Hey, it wasn't my idea. I learned that from listening to podcasts. So
nice. So what would you say would be your favorite Christmas movie?
My favorite Christmas movie. I don't know if I can pick just one, to be honest.
It's not easy.
Yeah, definitely the Santa Claus. Like I feel like the Santa Claus that I think a lot of people feel for A Christmas Story, which is a film that I won't talk about because I don't like it.
No trouble. Although, look, it's not for everybody. Christmas Story is not for everybody.
To be fair, I haven't seen it since I was a kid, and I don't even think I sat all the way through it. Like I can't stand it, and now like even I don't know what happened or if some sort of trauma experience, but even if I see clips, I get this feeling of irrational anger. Like, why is this on my screen? And why am I so angry about it being on my screen? I need therapy.
Yeah, maybe you shouldn't try to watch it.
Yeah, I don't know. It just really irritates me for whatever reason.
It does that to a lot of people, though. It really does.
But a lot of the things you were saying about that you liked about that film, I realized those are my feelings about like the Santa Claus. I think I was 16 when the Santa Claus came out. So I don't know if it's quite the age range they were shooting for, but being that I love Tim Allen so much, that quickly became a favorite. And my parents had just divorced a couple years before that, and a lot of the themes in that movie were resonating with where I was, and then probably Jim Carrey's The Grinch would be right up there. I'm full of hot takes tonight, but I like that version better than the original cartoon as well. So
I can see that one.
Yeah,
I can see that one. That's not so hot. It would be for a lot of people.
Yeah,
but I don't.
And I'm not saying I hate the cartoon one. I like the Grinch, Jim Carrey's Grinch better.
Look, he did it great.
Yeah,
nobody could have done it the way that he did. Nobody could have.
It would have been awful. He to be honest, he saved that movie.
Oh, he totally did.
Yeah,
he totally did.
Yeah. And then, Elf is another one I really like.
Absolutely.
That one I have an interesting journey with, because when it first came out and my kids wanted to watch it, I didn't like it because I didn't really like Will Ferrell. He just, I don't know, he never seemed funny to me. And I don't know whether it was because my kids watched it so much and I just ended up liking it. But when I really gave it an honest viewing, I'm like, this is actually pretty good. And he's not, I mean, it's such a fine line between acting like an idiot, or acting like an idiot with heart.
Exactly.
And he nails it. Like when he needs to be sincere, he really gets it in that performance. So, and I've since come to enjoy some of what Will Ferrell does. Like he's in Spirited, and I think he does a great job in Spirited. That's one of my favorite performances of his, for sure. But I would say those are like the top three, and I couldn't pick one over the other. Maybe Elf might get bumped out just because I've seen the other two longer.
Sure.
But yeah, those are the three.
I do have to say,
Mhm.
I mean, I'm sorry for interrupting. I do have to say that though, the North Pole in the Santa Claus is probably the coolest North Pole that I've ever seen in any Christmas movie ever. Like it's amazing the set that they came up with for the North Pole in the Santa Claus. I'm sorry. It's just phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Yeah. I was just thinking too, one of the things that all three films have in common is there's a lot of good quotes that you can quote throughout the year.
Oh yeah.
Even just a couple weeks ago, I was going somewhere, and I was like, goodbye, and one of my kids was like, bye, buddy. Hope you find your dad. And
thanks, Mr. Normal.
Yeah. And, it's just a film you can quote all year is the best.
Oh yeah.
So yeah. Well, I think we got through most of the Christmas questions I had for you here. I want to be careful that we don't turn this into a 2-hour nostalgia podcast here.
Oh yeah. It's amazing how quickly that can happen.
Oh yeah. Yeah. One thing before we go, I do want to ask, do you have a favorite Christmas tradition or memory that you'd like to share?
We're not really doing a lot of traditions at the moment, my wife and I. It's just kind of weird. The biggest tradition really that we have going on right now is we take a Christmassy type trip every year. Our wedding anniversary is December 6th, and then so we like to go out of town to celebrate our wedding anniversary, and then also we like to go Christmassy places to do that. So we went to Gatlinburg a couple of years ago. Gatlinburg and Christmas, if you've ever been there, oh wow, it's amazing. So the whole city's lit up and it's just phenomenal. And we went to Helen, Georgia last year with my in-laws, and that was just an amazing trip. And we've gone on several other trips like that. I would say that that's our biggest tradition that we've got going right now. Otherwise, it used to be when I was growing up, my favorite tradition was, we would all go to my grandmother's house on Christmas Eve, and, the whole family's there. And for whatever reason, everybody's split up now. I've got a brother in Florida and another one 2 hours away. And, the whole family's just in different places right now. So we don't really have that opportunity to get together like we used to. And I really miss that. But yeah, look, it seems like the anniversary trip each year is about the only real tradition that we have right now. So we need to start working on some newer traditions for sure.
Yeah, one tradition we do that it literally became a tradition because we decided, let's make this a tradition. Okay. And that's having French toast on Christmas morning.
Okay.
It just sounded like something fun to do. And I think we did that our first Christmas we were married. And and then when we started having kids, of course, they look forward to the French toast, and so then you start having fun with it, and I'll like throw a slice of French toast across the room to see if I can hit their plate, and all the things you don't do on a normal day, really make it fun. And then there's been a couple years we've changed how we did that. Some years, we might just do a French toast casserole kind of thing, or
hey, now you're talking.
Which is so good. Let me tell you.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah. That is just a little thing, but we just decided, hey, we should do something. We want to have something fun on Christmas Eve or Christmas morning, not just all, presents and it's over, kind of thing. We want to make the day last. So, we find little ways to do that. It's never too late to start a new tradition.
No, you're correct. And I made a point on one of the podcast episodes that I did that, how bad I've been about sending out Christmas cards. And then so that's one of the things that I'm going to make a concerted effort to do this year is to send out Christmas cards. And I'm going to pick out 15 people and I'm going to get their addresses and I'm going to write out the cards and I'm going to lick the envelope and throw the stamp on and I'm going to put it in the mail. And so that's something that I'm going to try to be better at doing this year. And I also want to build some new traditions with my wife and with my daughter. So yeah, we've gotten away from doing traditional style stuff, and I think this is the year we just start bringing it back.
Yeah, yeah. Especially as your kids get older, you kind of want to hold on to some of those memories.
Oh, I know it.
Yeah.
I know it. Yeah, it's well, my daughters are older than your children, I do believe. I've got two daughters. My oldest is 30.
Mm.
She lives in Oregon, so it's really hard to get a tradition going with her.
Right.
My youngest daughter's 28, and she's around the area, but she's got her husband, and they're off doing their thing all the time. So, but we do love to get together on the holidays, and we need to work on some new traditional stuff.
Yeah, it's hard. My family's scattered coast to coast as well, and
It's hard.
Fortunately, my one son he still lives at home, and then my other son he lives about 30 minutes away.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, we still have him close by, and of course my daughter still is in high school, and yeah, it's she had a college fair thing she went to today. It was like all the colleges set up, and you go and visit all the booths and everything, and
Oh, yeah.
and so she came home talking about a college she really found interesting and might want to go to, and I'm like, no, not yet.
Not the last one.
I know, yeah.
I do have to say before we take off, I love the fact that you've brought your daughter onto your podcast so many times.
Oh yeah.
I think that's just great. I'm probably going to try to bring my youngest daughter on. She loves Christmas also, and do a couple of little segments with that. It just I bet you just had so much fun doing that. I'm really glad that you decided to do that, because I really want to do that with my daughter at some point. I think that would be so cool. So good for you for incorporating her as much as you have. I really appreciate that.
Well, good. Yeah, I know I've had some feedback that they always love it when Gracie's on, and what's fun is I can go back and listen to the first few episodes, and she's so little back then. That's like 5 years ago now, but I have this ongoing memory of recordings of her and I talking about Christmas over the past 5 or 6 years, and it's really become very, very precious.
No, and it would be. No, that's incredible. I'm super happy that you got to do that.
Yeah. So yeah, she's been bugging me again. Dad, you got to get me back on. We got to talk about something. Like, okay. I just had her on this last one, I think. It was. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Looking forward to having her on again for sure. Yeah. Well, where can folks find do you have a website or just a place where you host your podcast?
My podcast is on basically anywhere you could find any other podcast, Apple, Spotify, all the other ones. It's on YouTube. It comes out in the podcast form on YouTube. So Christmas Every Day. And also one more shameless plug. We did just start doing the naughty list, which every Monday we spotlight 2 different, holiday offensive things, whether they're characters or foods or, songs or movies. It doesn't matter. If it's offensive, we're spotlighting it. And then we're going to do that every Monday until December, when we bring out the nice list, and then we're going to be nice for the rest of the best months of the year. So naughty list, we are doing that. But yeah, anywhere you can find podcasts, you're likely to find mine. Christmas Every Day.
All right. And I'll make sure to link something in the show notes there so folks can find that if they need a quick and easy link. Well, Troy, it's been great getting to know you. Thanks for taking the time to being on the show today and talking about my favorite holiday with me.
Absolutely. I appreciate you having me on. The pleasure's all mine. You're a great guy, and I enjoyed the conversation. We'll have to do it again.
Absolutely. Well, Merry Christmas to you and your family.
Same to you. Thanks, sir.
Well, I want to thank Troy for being on. And again, his podcast is Christmas Every Day, and you can find it on all the podcasting platforms. He's also been a guest on the Totally Rad Christmas podcast, and perhaps others will be coming your way soon. As always, I want to thank you for listening. If you have a Christmas story or tradition or memory you want to share with the rest of our audience, you can email me at cozychristmaspodcast@gmail.com or reach out to me on any of the social medias. And as always, if you're able to help us out in a financial way, there are some links in the comments. Of course, the best thing you can do is to leave a review on like Apple Podcast or Spotify. Engage with it in some way, and that really helps the algorithm know that this is the podcast people want to listen to. We will start increasing our episodes now, where I might have an interview on one day and then later in the week release a story. We'll see how things go, but I will keep reading Christmas stories to you throughout this holiday season. And so until next time, let us remember to honor Christmas in our hearts and try to keep it all the year. Have a very Merry Christmas.